My guest is Lorrie Morgan. Lorrie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Ralph.
Are you reaching for your cigarette?
No, my little timer here.
What?
It's my timer.
Why do you have a timer?
This is called Life Sign, and it's to help me get off of cigarettes, and it tells me when I am allowed to smoke.
Oh,
and
I've seen one of those.
They're great. I have 13 minutes before I can smoke again.
And
I've cheated 3 times today.
Jerry Whitehurst has one.
Does he have one?
And you know what a terrible time he's had.
Yes.
Trying to quit. And apparently, from what I understand, this little timer reduces your number of cigarettes slowly per day.
Right, gradually. And the time, the first week you have it, you punch in every time you smoke, and it monitors your smoking habits. Then the second week, it starts all over, and it starts telling you when to smoke. A little page or a little beeper will go off every time you're allowed a cigarette. And the first couple of days, it wasn't that bad. You know, I would wake up in the morning, I'd have to wait only 8 minutes before my cigarette. Now it's 15 to 16 to 17 minutes, and then like 56 minutes from there on between cigarettes.
All right. Is this supposed to help you kick the habit?
It's supposed to wean you off of cigarettes gradually with no withdrawal symptoms, to where you're not, you don't gain weight because you're not changing your habits that drastically. You're still smoking and you're still, but you gradually, like a couple days, there's been a couple days where this thing's gone off and I forgot to even smoke. And that's real unusual for me.
How many cigarettes do you smoke a day, or did you?
About a pack. Little over a pack.
Are you doing this to improve your voice?
Yes.
Your vocal range?
Right. I am.
I know you've had a polyp problem.
Actually, I did not have a polyp. It was found, the little bump, they called it just a bump. It had not turned into a nodule or a polyp or whatever you want to call it yet. It was just like a little raised place on my vocal cords, and it was spotted about 2 months ago, and they took me off the road. No, I'm sorry, about 3 months ago. And they took me off the road for about 3 weeks, total voice rest. And it's been okay, but the last year I've just been nonstop with really essentially no rest at all. And that was the main thing they thought was really causing the vocal stress, was no rest, because sleep is the best medicine for almost anything.
Mm-hmm. Are you over the problem now?
Well, I'm over there's no bump there anymore, but as you know, living here in Nashville with the weather the way it's been, my sinuses have absolutely, and it just drains, and I'm either hoarse or it's awful. It's been awful this year.
Yeah, it drives you crazy living
It
in this
really
town.
does.
I have the same problem.
And I went to Los Angeles a couple weeks ago. I went out there for the AMA Awards, and it was just like night and day. I mean, I could, as bad as the smog is in L.A., the change of climate and the salty air or whatever really helped me a lot. So you'll probably get some relief when you go out there.
Lorrie, I understand that there is about to be a tour featuring you, Clint Black, and Merle Haggard. Is my information correct?
Yes, it is. Very correct. And I'm very excited about it. Of course, I worked with Clint last year, through most of the year on the Alabama tour, and I was just real happy with that tour. Clint and I became very good friends, as did Alabama and myself. And we just got word just a couple months ago that I would be doing more shows this year with Clint, and also on the package would be Merle Haggard. So I'm very, very excited about it, because I'm a big Merle Haggard fan to begin with.
Excuse me, when does this tour start? Do you know?
I think it starts March 1st.
Do you know where?
In Houston, Texas.
Are you going to tour the entire United States?
As far as I know, I've got, right now, I think only 12 dates booked on the books with Clint. Now, there's more being talked about and trying to get all the little nitpick things worked out. And as I said, we've just got 12 right now on the books, but hopefully we're going to be working half of the year with Clint and then half with George Strait.
Will the tour with George Strait also include Merle Haggard?
No, just me and George. And I've already started the tour with George. George and I have worked 4 or 5 dates already together, and we've got 17 more on the books with George.
So somebody has to coordinate. You're talking about 2 separate tours here.
Right.
So you work a while with George Strait and then a while with Clint Black and Merle Haggard.
Right.
It just occurred to me how long I've known you. Do you believe all this is happening to you?
No, and some days it really scares me because I think, why did I become the lucky one? I mean, there's so many people that try and make it in this town. And as you know, I've been trying for years and years and years to be where I'm at, and I'm very thankful for where I'm at right now in the business. I've got a long way to go yet, and I realize that, but it is some days. It's hard for me to think, I still feel like just plain old Lorrie,
Well, you also broke another barrier. It's interesting. As well as your friend Diane Sherrill will tell you. It's very difficult for performers who perform a lot in Nashville, locally, in local clubs, on local television, to
be taken seriously.
Yeah, well, I don't know, is that the correct term, to be taken seriously? Anyway, it's hard for them to get a break.
Okay, maybe not taken seriously, but maybe they're taken for granted.
Yeah, you see them every day and you don't think much about it.
Exactly.
Because you did my local television show for years, and
I worked the local club circuit here in Nashville ever since I was 15 years old.
And so I suppose for Lorrie Morgan to sing just didn't really blow anybody away. They were so used to you.
Right.
You weren't new.
Right. And I think, a lot of times when a new face comes to town, it is the newness that's exciting, that turns the record label heads. And for me, I was just, like wallpaper here. Very dry wallpaper.
Stop the tape. I've got to tell her story. I'm visiting with Lorrie Morgan. Lorrie, let's talk music. What are you doing?
Ralph, I just completed my new album, which will be out April 7th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think the release date is April 7th on the new album. It's called Something in Red.
Now, this will be the first album since Leave the Light On.
Right.
I looked in the Billboard chart, and that album has been in the charts for 86 weeks.
I know. That's a
year and a half.
That's phenomenal to me. I can't believe it. We're still selling, from the last time I talked to someone at RCA, which is about a week ago, around 20,000 units a week on that album.
Wow. I've got an award over there on my wall that says 500,000.
That's right.
And that's been some time.
Right.
So my question is this album, Leave the Light On, going to go platinum?
Well, it's close to, right now, 800,000 units.
It takes
sold.
1 million units to go platinum.
Right.
Could very, very easily do that.
It could very easily do that.
How many singles did you pull out of this album?
We had 5 singles off of this album.
Well, Trainwreck of Emotion.
Out of Your
Out
Shoes.
of Your Shoes.
Dear Me.
Okay.
He Talks to Me.
That's 4.
Oh, wait a minute. Is there any more? 5 minutes.
5 minutes, right.
Thank you.
How well did all of them do?
Trainwreck of Emotion was my first top 20. It went 14 or 15.
Okay.
Out of Your Shoes, Dear Me went to number 9. Out of Your Shoes went to number 1. 5 Minutes went number 1. And He Talks to Me went number 2.
So the album has done exceptionally well. What about your next single?
My next single is called We Both Walk. Due out March 15th is the release date.
Is this off of the new album?
This is off of the new album, and the new album is entitled Something in Red, which I can't wait
Is there a tune?
for you to... Yes. It is the most It's the best song I've ever recorded in my career, and I know my career is still young, but I've been in the studio a lot in my life and recorded songs. And this song, we're doing it now on our stage show on the road, and I can't wait to play it for you.
I'm talking to Lorrie Morgan about her forthcoming single, which will also be the title of her forthcoming album, Something in Red, which is about a girl looking for something red to wear.
Right? Something.
There's got to be more to it than that.
Exactly. Something that's shocking to turn someone's head. And she describes exactly what she's looking for. Strapless, and sequined, and cut down to there. Stockings and garters and lace underwear. The guaranteed number to knock a man dead. And I'm looking for something in red. And the song goes on to the future. I'm looking for something in green now. Something to outdo an ex-high school queen. And a perfume that whispers, please come back to me. I'm looking for something in green. The next verse goes to, I'm looking for something in white. Well, evidently the red did the trick because now she's getting married, okay? So the next verse goes on to, I'm looking for something in blue, something real tiny, the baby's brand new. She talks about having the baby. And at the end of that verse, it talks about, we once were hot lovers, now we're more like friends. Don't tell me that's something old married folk do. I'm looking for something in blue. The end verse goes back to something in red again.
Good.
Where she's looking now to turn the man's head that she turned before. I'm looking for something in red like the one that I wore when I first turned his head. Just a size larger than I wore last year. And it's a great song. It's a ballad, and it's absolutely amazing. My producer, Richard Landis, went to Los Angeles to put the strings on it. And there's like 43 strings on this record. There's 3 French horns, harps, flutes, violas, cellos, and it's just it's a bone-chilling song. It's great.
There's one thing I'm glad you didn't do. I'm glad that you did not take it to, I'm looking for something in black.
Oh, yeah.
I was afraid that was going to happen
No.
as you told me about it.
No, I tell you what, the album is nothing to do with the tragedy that's happened to me in the last year. I need to, and everyone else needs to accept that I've got to start my life over. There's a song that we recorded on the album that I know a lot of people are going to relate it to Keith and I. But actually, it's just one of my very old-time favorite songs, and it's a song that was written by Nora Wilson and George Ritchie called A Picture of Me Without You.
Oh, it's an old song.
Yeah, right. But it really, it has no bearing, about the situation. But the whole album is very fresh. It's a great, great album, and Richard Landis did a great job producing me as well as the album.
Could have been titled Lorrie Moves On, I suppose.
Yeah, and I could have been dressed up like a steamroller.
Lorrie, is sex still a problem with you on stage?
What?
Sex.
Still a problem with me on stage?
A lot of people might say, boy, she's too sexy for the women in the audience.
Well,
and I notice on the picture you sent to me on your gold album, you're showing a lot of leg there.
Yeah, but...
So my question is, does this alienate the women, or have you got that under control?
Yeah, I think we've got it under control, and I think that there's a way that you can handle things like that. I am not... I think ever since we started having hit records, and there's been a plan for Lorrie Morgan, and there's been people who work on my image and who work on my clothes. It's been statistically proven that 75% of the people who are buying my albums are women, and which is a very good record for me because women are record buyers. And I think that you handle those kind of things by not making the women feel inferior or feel threatened by you anyway. Now, I do, there are nights where I'm in a wild mood and I'll feel like putting on a mini skirt, or I'll wear something that's maybe a little too low cut, and always get on stage and feel uncomfortable with it. I usually wear either pants or a jacket or something that I'm comfortable with and that I know is not bothering anybody sitting in the front row.
You like to dress sexy?
Yeah, I like to dress sexy because I'm...
But are you talking about in your private life, or...
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about how you feel about this. Are your feelings different on stage than they are in your private life?
Yes. If I'm going to dinner, if I have a date, I will probably dress more sexy than I would on stage, because... Just because.
Have you ever had a guy make a pass at you while you were working?
Definitely, yeah.
I'm talking about since you've had these hit records.
Yes, definitely. There's quite a few of them. It happens almost every week, but I feel...
What do they yell? Do they yell this?
A lot of them make gestures.
Are they they're in the audience, right?
A lot of them make gestures, trying to get my attention.
What kind of gestures?
I'll show you, but I won't tell you.
Are they obscene?
Yeah, some of them are.
I see.
Some of them are obscene. Some of them are notes that come up. I'd love to be with you out of your shoes tonight. I'll be around at the bus. If you want to be there, be there. Or somebody will follow me to the hotel, follow the bus to the hotel, and I have a very good road manager who protects me very well on the road.
So you have security.
I have a lot of security around me. I'm on the road to work.
You told me that sometimes you are guilty on stage of putting your foot in your mouth. Yeah. I want you to tell these people the story about the French fries.
Okay. I was doing a show, I think it was in Pennsylvania, and it was an outdoor concert. It was about 8,000 people there. And the people in the first few rows were the only ones who could see what was happening in the front of the stage. And I'd been watching these people walk by all night with those Cajun seasoned French fries, and I was starving on stage.
Up in Pennsylvania, they sell Cajun French fries?
Yeah, those barbecued seasoned fries.
Okay. So as you sing, you've been watching these
people?
Yeah,
and I was starving to death, and they looked so good, and they had ketchup on them, and I was just, I could taste them. And this guy walked by on stage, and he said, "Do you want some?"
And he walked by...
in the front of the stage.
Oh, okay.
In the front of the stage, and he held up these French fries, and he said, "Do you want some?" And I said, and of course no one in the audience could hear him, but they could hear me on the microphone. I said, "No thanks, I'm going to have me some after the show. I'm going to get me some after the show." And my band absolutely lost it. I mean, we couldn't play another song for about 5 minutes. And I just put my head down and said, "I'm sorry."
The audience...
Oh, they laughed. They laughed real hard.
Lorrie, I believe I heard the other day that the TNN Music City News Viewers' Choice nominees were out, and you and Keith Whitley have been nominated again.
Right.
For Vocal Duo of the Year. And you won that award last year for the CMA, didn't you?
Right.
Did you win that last year also anywhere else?
No, we just won that for the CMA last year.
How many records were released with you and Keith?
That's the only one that's been released, but there are 2 more or 3 more duets that Keith and I did, really, that we did live when Blake Mevis was producing Keith. Keith and I recorded 3 duets together.
The one that was the hit was titled what?
Till a Tear Becomes a Rose, and that was done after Keith passed away.
Are they going to release the other material?
There is an album, a commemorative album, coming out with Keith in a few months that they're looking at the other material, the other duets. They're personally they're okay. They're not. They were just done in scratch vocal by Keith and I in the studio. Of course, I have an opportunity to go back in and redo my part, and unfortunately, Keith, his track is done. So the only problem would be if his vocal is up to par.
What else will be in the commemorative album?
Songs that no one has heard before.
So these are tracks recorded in the can, as we say,
Right.
That RCA still has.
Right.
Do they have enough for one more album?
They have enough for at least 2 more albums.
Really? Do you think they'll release everything?
I don't know if they will right away. I think eventually they'll probably put the rest of the stuff out. But right now, from what I'm understanding, this could possibly be the last album by Keith.
What do they do for a cover? I guess they've got 1,000 old
Yeah,
shots, haven't they?
well, and we've also got, I think they're wanting to do like a, what do you call it? Bunch of,
A montage?
something like that. A bunch of pictures. Like snapshot pictures and things like that I have around the house.
Does this bother you when they release new material?
No, it doesn't bother me at all because I'm glad. I mean, Keith may be, dead in the sense of in the public's eye or whoever's eyes, but I still have 2 children that need to remember Keith and want to remember Keith. I want to remember Keith. And his family wants to remember him. And I think that Keith he deserves airtime and airplay, and he deserves releases because he was great.
He was terrific.
I was watching a couple old reruns when I get on the bus sometimes, and I get out on the road and I get real sentimental and stuff, and I have a bunch of old Nashville Now tapes that I keep on the bus. And I was going through one the other day, and I thought it was just of me, and I was watching him on the bus, and all of a sudden you came on to my special guest tonight is Keith Whitley, and it showed the night that they brought Jesse Keith out to him and set him on his lap on stage, and it was just, those are priceless tapes to me.
Did he do his Lester flat?
Every time he was on, you had him doing Lester. I mean, it's...
Yeah, that was neat.
Yep. And you could tell, there's a lot of people, and I'm sorry, this is the truth, but there's people on your show that when I'm watching, and it may be because I know you so well, I know who you're really into and who you really, it don't really matter.
Well,
Now, wait a minute, Ralph.
Right, go ahead.
Just a minute. I mean, it's not like it don't matter, but it's like there's more people that you really are into than others. It's the same way with me as anybody. But it's funny to watch how you used to beam up when Keith would get on that couch and do Lester. If you could watch some of them old tapes, it was really...
I think we had a good rapport. We had even off camera. We told old
war stories
about country music that we both got a big kick out of. In my defense, let me say this: there's so many new acts out there that I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying that you don't like them. I'm just saying there's other. It's like you're.
I'm getting to know them, as the audience is. But Keith and I had a special relationship. He did it. He brightened my night.
Yeah, he did. You could tell too. And I've got the last radio show that he taped with you.
Yeah.
It's possible. I don't know if they've contacted you or not, but it's possible that some of those parts in them interviews are gonna be on the album.
Oh, really?
His producer listened to the tape, and I don't know if he found anything on it or not.
That's fine. Lorrie, thank you.
My pleasure, always.